Hello everyone. Hope you all are fine. Welcome to my channel. Today we are discussing about Kirchhoff's laws, the most important one when you consider about the chapter electricity. So the Kirchhoff proposed two important laws. So let us see those two laws in our present video, one after one. So starting, I would like to introduce you the two Kirchhoff's laws. What are they? The first one. So I would like to write here Kirchhoff introduced two important laws. So these laws play a prominent role in our electricity chapter to reduce or to solve the problems regarding any kind of a circuit given to you. So the first one is Kirchhoff's junction law. The first one is Kirchhoff's junction law, or you can name this one as Kirchhoff's current law. You also can name this one as Kirchhoff's current law, and it is prominently called as nodal analysis. So it is prominently called as nodal analysis, which we can find in engineering topics. And the second one, he proposed about Kirchhoff's voltage law, or you can say Kirchhoff loop law. Okay, so there are multiple names, right? So based on any one, you can just identify the Kirchhoff's laws. So it is also called as voltage law. What we can say? Voltage law. And this is prominently called in engineering topics as mesh analysis. This is prominently called as mesh analysis. So we will learn in detail about these two topics now. First, introducing with Kirchhoff's junction law or current law. So let us see about junction law. What is that? Kirchhoff's junction law. So I would like to go with basics. First, I would like to introduce you what is a junction. It means some keywords are there which many of them may not know clearly and may not understand these concepts without knowing those keywords. So before directly discussing about Kirchhoff's junction law, I would like to introduce you those keywords first, and then I will give you the statement of Kirchhoff's junction law, and then I can continue the explanation of the Kirchhoff's junction law in various ways. So please, I request you to see the entire video completely, because you will be thinking that we may know whatever I am saying here, but many of them may not know some keywords, the exact meaning of the keyword. Without knowing the keyword only, they will be just learning the concept without knowing the keywords. So that's why I would like to introduce you the keywords also, so that it will be perfect learning for you hereafter. So the first keyword I would like to introduce you, junction. So what is a junction exactly? So in the electric circuits, the point where two or more branches meet, the point where two or more branches meet is called as a junction. Two or more branches meet is called junction, and it is also called as a node. The junction is also termed as a node. So please don't get confused. If in any question, if they say either node or a junction, both are same. So the point where two or more branches meet is called a junction or a node. So now you may get it out. Sir, exactly what is a branch again? You are saying that the point where two or more branches meet is called junction. What is a branch, sir? I don't know even that also. So can you please let us see what is a branch here. So a branch. So in simple terms, I would like to explain, it is a part of a circuit, okay? A part of a circuit, containing at least one consumer, is called as a branch. Containing at least one consumer is called a branch. So one example I will explain here, combined it together I will explain what is a junction and what is a branch in these things. So see the following diagram here, circuit diagram. What I would like to show you is, so there is one resistor over here like this, and there is one more resistor over here, and here also there is one more resistor. So what exactly is a consumer, tell me? Consumer is the one which utilizes the electrical energy. So therefore I can just assume this is as my consumer. So this is my consumer number 1, and at the same time you can see here, this whole thing is your consumer 1. Assume it as a consumer 1, and this is also consumer also, and this is also one more consumer. So what are all these consumers? So at least one consumer I said, right? So a part of a circuit containing at least one consumer is called a branch. So therefore you can say, I will just label the parts as A, O, B and C. So from this you can say here directly I am writing A, O and next B, O and C, O. These three are termed as branches. Because containing at least one consumer. And you can see the O, point O is called as a junction. Point O is called as a junction. In other words, it is also called as a node. So what did you understand from here, this one? A node is a point where two or more branches are meeting. So two or more branches meet is called as a node, and a branch is a part of a circuit. So assume this is full part of this is a circuit. So part of a circuit, that is nothing but this one, containing at least one consumer. So one consumer is there, right? So AO or BO or CO is called as a branch. So that's why these are the keywords first you need to learn while discussing about this Kirchhoff's laws, because without knowing this junction or without knowing the meaning of a branch, if you just learn the concept, it is nothing of use, right? So that's why I just introduced you what is a junction and what is a branch. Now in the next we will see the definition or statement for the Kirchhoff's junction law and what does he explain in this junction law and how to do everything now itself. So let us see the statement of junction law. Okay, so what does the Kirchhoff junction law states? The algebraic sum of all currents. See, I am just explaining it in the easiest way. The algebraic sum of all currents at a junction or a node is 0. Okay, so this is a statement of Kirchhoff's junction law. So what does we understand from this statement? The algebraic sum of all currents at a junction or node is a 0. It means, if you just in the previous example you have seen one node I have considered and 3 branches I have taken, right? So whatever the currents moving in those branches, when they approach at the junction, then the total sum, that too what kind of a sum it is? Algebraic sum of all those currents is said to be 0. So why did I use a word called algebraic? Means there are some currents which may be coming into the junction, there may be some currents which may be leaving the junction. So obviously they are said to be taken in a different directions, right? So assuming currents coming into the junction as positive, leaving the currents the junction as taken as negative, then all the sum of all those currents is equals to 0. That's why we used a term called algebraic sum. So let us explain this one with an example here so that you can understand it clearly. So there is a node said to be O, and consider there are around 5 branches in this way, shown like this. So this is your node, okay na? This is your node O, and these are all your 5 branches. Let me suppose this is branch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, anything. So assume the number of currents, or assume the currents passing in these branches now. So considering that I1 is the current coming into the junction over here, and assuming I2 the current is leaving the junction here, and again one more current here I3, and see, just I have taken some directions, that's it, okay. So it is not a must, you can take in any of the way when you want to explain this thing clearly. So what according to this one, what convention did I say to you? So current entering node or junction. So current entering node or junction, you just consider it as positive, and the current leaving node or a junction, you assume it as a negative. So based on this, if you assume in this way, in this diagram at a junction O, so at junction or node O, at a junction O, at a junction O, what you can say, from junction law, what are the Kirchhoff's junction law we are saying? So from junction law, so in short you can write this one as current law, I said now. So applying KCL at O, you can say the word like applying KCL at O. What is KCL? Kirchhoff's current law. That is nothing but junction law. All are same. So at a junction O, if you just apply the Kirchhoff's current law, what is the statement? Algebraic sum. So according to that we have taken the convention even. So current entering node are positive. What are the currents entering, or taken in order? So I1 is entering the node. So take it as plus I1. So plus, whether you keep it or don't keep, it is directly positive only. And I2 you can see it is leaving the junction here. So therefore assume it as minus I2. Why I have said? I just gave a convention like current leaving node you consider as a negative. And next I3, it is entering the junction, so again you just take it as plus I3, and then you can see I4 is leaving, so therefore minus I4, and you can observe here in the diagram I5 is entering the junction, so therefore again you take it as plus I5. So what did I say? Algebraic sum of all currents at a junction is 0, so therefore total current is 0. Now you just do one mathematic trick directly. So transpose all the negative terms to that side. So what happens if you just transpose all the negative terms that side? So I1 plus I3 plus I5 is equals to I2 plus I4. So what you can understand, you can just have an idea about this one directly. What is this? All these currents, right? What are all these currents? Currents entering the junction. See, I1, I3 and I5. These three are entering the junctions, right? So what I can say now? These three are as sum of currents entering the junction. Sum of currents entering junction. You can just say I1 plus I3 plus I5 as sum of currents entering junction. And what you can just say I2 plus I4 here. What are these I2 and I4? I2 is leaving the junction and I4 is also leaving the junction. So I can say I2 plus I4 as sum of currents leaving junction. Sum of currents are leaving a junction. So the Kirchhoff junction law can also be written as or modified as sum of all currents entering the junction is equal to sum of all currents leaving the junction. So if you feel this statement as a difficult one, or to apply which one to take positive or which one to take negative, if you have, just this confusion, and if you just forget, you can use this statement here. What is that statement? Sum of currents entering, or sum of all currents entering a junction is equals to sum of all currents leaving the junction. So this is your Kirchhoff's current law, or Kirchhoff's junction law. What is that? Sum of currents entering junction is equals to sum of currents leaving junction. So let us see an example for Kirchhoff's junction law. As we have seen the statement previously, we will see with an example here. So I am just considering one simple junction over here. So like this, and one more here, and just one more here. A simple one to understand for you, that's it. So let me say 5 ampere is coming here, and 2 ampere is leaving, and I require the amount of current passing through this junction. So name this junction as O. Name the junction as O. So just applying Kirchhoff's junction law at this O. So apply, I said now you can write it other words also, apply KCL at O. Junction law or current law, both are same. So what according to this KCL? Sum of currents entering a junction is equal to sum of currents leaving a junction. What are the currents entering the junction? Only one current is entering the junction. What is that? 5 ampere. So 5 ampere is equals to, sir, is it necessary to mention A? It is up to you. So 5 ampere is equals to leaving the junctions. What are the current leaving junctions? 2 ampere plus the next current is I. We require I value. So transpose, you know in mathematics, transpose the 2 ampere to this side, you get I is equals to, so 5 ampere minus 2 ampere, which results the current in the junction as 3 ampere. So this is the one of the easiest problem I can give it to you. So if you can see one more thing over here directly. Another example. See in this example here like this, there is a square loop. Sir, you don't ask me what is a loop again. We will see that keyword in Kirchhoff's loop law or voltage law. So there are some more branches present to this, and here you can see the currents entering. All the currents are shown here. 2 ampere, and here it is again 3 ampere, again 4 ampere, and they are just asking you to find out the current leaving from there. So in this problem, if you see, you can ask me a question. Sir, there are 4 junctions exactly. What are those 4 junctions? This is 1, and you can say here 2, and this is 3, and this is 4. So in this all 4 junctions are there. If you apply Kirchhoff's current law at 4 junctions, at 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can see here, there is no direction given for the current in this branch, at the same time in this branch also, in this branch and in this branch. So there is no direction of current given here. So you can just assume in this way, as there is no current direction given in all these 4 branches present here, it means what you can say directly, these 2 are said to be having same potential, and these 2 are said to be having same potential, and these 2 are also having same potential, and these 2 are also at same potential, because current direction is not given in the sense. So almost all both are at same level. If current is said to be present, it means there is some consumer, and because of that consumer the current can be passing through that. So in that way you can assume. So therefore directly I can redraw this one as in this way. This is 2 ampere coming, and this is 3 ampere coming, and 4 ampere coming into junction, and how much current is leaving. So therefore applying KCL at this junction O, so therefore you will get amount of current leaving the junction is equal to amount of current entering through the junction. So just adding up all the currents together, you will get it as 9 ampere. So the current I is 9 ampere. Now you can ask me, sir, if the same circuit is remodified as like this, So can you explain the second thing, sir? This one. Yes. Let us see the remodified circuit over here. What you can say directly? So it was given like this, the same thing, 2 ampere and again 3 ampere, okay, and here also some, let me say 4 ampere is leaving from this one and we require this I. So now say like this, there is one current passing in this direction and this current is in this way, and here there is one more current like this and this is another one here. It is given such a way and one of the value was given. Any sum, one of the value was given. Let me suppose this is given as how can I say 1 ampere or how can we say this one, 2 ampere, you just say 2 ampere, you say here this one, okay, and take this one for time being as 3 ampere so that our problem may not be complicated. Now you see, in this diagram there are many junctions, right? What are all those junctions? As usual, junction 1, here also junction 2, and this is junction 3, and here junction 4. So name those unknown currents. We require I, and there are some more unknown currents are there. What are those unknown currents here? See this one, I1, and here I2, and here I3. These all are unknown currents only. Once if you can calculate these unknown currents, you can calculate the I value. How to do this one? See here. So KCL at junction 1. KCL at junction 1. So how much is coming? 3 ampere is coming. 2 ampere is also coming. So therefore I1 will be like, I1 is leaving. So 3 ampere plus 2 ampere, which is equals to 5 ampere. So done. I1 first unknown current, we got it as 5 ampere. And now again apply KCL at junction 2. Apply KCL at junction 2. So at junction 2, entering the currents entering the junction. What are those? 3 ampere, and how much are leaving? 2 ampere is leaving, and what is one more leaving? I3. So from this what you can say? I3 is equals to 3 minus 2. This is 1 ampere. You got one more unknown current also, and this is one more. Here you got it as I1 like this. So just highlighting the values. And now apply again KCL at 4. So applying KCL at junction 4, what you are going to get at junction 4? Inward current is equal to outward current. So what is inward current? I1. Outward currents are I2 and 4. So therefore you can say I2 plus 4 is equals to I1. What is this I1 here already? 5 ampere. So from this what you can say? I2 is equals to how much? 1 ampere. I2 is equals to how much? 1 ampere. And now finally to calculate our required current I, so KCL at junction 3 to get the value of I. So sum of inward currents equal to outward current, that is I is equals to I3 plus I2. I is equals to I3 plus I2. What is I3? 1 ampere. What is I2? 1 ampere. So 1 ampere plus 1 ampere, which results in I is equals to 2 ampere. So like this we can just have an understanding about Kirchhoff's current law or junction law. In this way you can calculate the currents in a or passing through a junction, that is nothing but in a branch. You can calculate the current using KCL. So there is one more application of Kirchhoff's current law or junction law. So that application, in that application, for example, you can see here current is said to be passing, I said, right? Current is passing means obviously this point should have some potential. I used a word here in this problem, right? So having a potential at this point means obviously they are said to be having one more potential here also, and here also there is one more potential, maybe, and should be, not maybe, should be having a potential because current is passing. So How can we calculate these potentials also? Given one unknown and the remaining all are known values, how to calculate that potential we will see in the next video. So thank you very much, and please watch the next video for the application of Kirchhoff's current law. Thank you. Have a nice day.